Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mayor's Corner. We have some special guests with us today that a department I'm very proud of. I'm proud of all our departments. No, let's not get into that, right? But I'm very proud of this department. It's come a long ways. Back in, I believe it was 18, 19, we started investing a little bit more with a little more help for the department, and they've come a long ways. And I'll hand it over to our fire chief,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Patrick Thomas, amongst all the other hats he wears.
So, yes, so just for those of you watching, I am the fire chief for the city of Alice. I'm also, as the mayor said, many hats. I am the emergency management coordinator, work hand in hand with the mayor when there's disasters and major emergencies. But one of the other hats that I do wear is the code enforcement department and codes and inspections department. It's a very, very important department that works, alongside all the other departments in the city. And I wanted to introduce the staff today when me and the mayor were speaking, and we thought it would be great to introduce the staff of that department to the public and to all of the viewers. So,
you see them out there in our community, and
we're out there. We try to stay as involved as possible. As a matter of, here, beginning of this week, Ruben, or last week, we were doing. They were at the Boys and Girls Club doing some speaking.
Yes.
So we have, and I'll get into a little bit more about the vision and the goals that we have for this department. But before I do that, I want to introduce the staff. And
let's
I'll start here. Of course, like I said, I'm the director over the Codes and Inspections department. But we've got our supervisor, which is Captain Ruben Garcia, and then he oversees the three code officers, which we have Mr. Frank Gomez. We have Mr. Anthony Reese and Nichelle Perales. And so these officers or myself and Ruben are peace officers, so we have the ability to issue citations and make arrests for any type of crimes that are involved with illegal dumping and things like that. But then our officers are actually certified code officers. They're licensed code officers through the state. All three of them have attended the training that they needed to attend and taken the state test and jumped through all the hoops and whatever they made y'all do to get your certifications or licenses, right, guys?
Yes.
It was a lengthy process, but they did a great job navigating through it, and I'm proud to say that we've got three certified code officers
How
for
long
the city.
did that take?
That was probably about a year.
About a year.
Well, so
a year?
you have
Wow.
to that process.
So it's not just something simple. It's
Correct.
Wow.
It's a course. They've got to take some training, and then on top of that training, they also have to work under somebody else's license for at least a year before they're allowed to go and take their test.
Wow.
And so it did take some time to get there, but they all were able to make that happen, and so like I said, we're proud of them for that, and
Of course, yes.
it's a huge plus for our city to have certified code officers working in that.
And while I have y'all all here, I just want to say, how grateful we are. We're thankful for y'all. It's not an easy job, because it's not you're coming into situations where it's not always a pleasant thing, and people.
People don't like being told what they can do with their own property.
Right.
Yeah,
They're not always happy to see us.
So I really appreciate y'all, but without this process, it's a process we need in place to keep our city uniform and in compliance. It's for safety issues, it's for so many other things. So,
On top of that, we're also the health inspectors as well for the city.
okay.
So we do the health inspection for the restaurants.
Hey, I didn't know that part.
So we'll kind of go over a little bit about what the code enforcement department does, and so like you said, we're most of the time the person that nobody wants to see coming up there knocking on their door telling you that, hey, you got to cut your grass, or
Sometimes you'll
you've
see
gotta,
someone, whoop.
So, but yes, unfortunately, that is a portion of our job. A major portion of our job is getting people to compliance with our codes.
So if you see any of our code enforcement out there, they're there to help the community. They're there to help you and guide you. So they'll work with you. Just be patient and understand they have a job.
And understand we're going to work with every citizen.
Yes.
That's one of our main goals as a department is, even though our title is code enforcement officer, we're not really, we're gonna get compliance is what we're looking for. We're gonna work with every resident to everybody's in different situations. Especially sometimes maybe they couldn't afford a lawnmower to cut their yard. There's things. There's everybody's got their own situations and their own factors, and we take all that into consideration. We're not just. We don't just go and force people to do things.
You have steps in place
Correct.
that you have to follow and abide by.
Right. We have our
ordinances
policies and procedures
Yes.
that we have in place, and we're working through those. And like I said, our main goal is every one of these officers up here is going to work their best with every
course.
resident
And
to get compliance.
I've encountered and worked with each and every one of y'all. Y'all are awesome. I'm going to tell you, y'all have always had the city's best interest and the citizens' best interest at heart all the time. They're here to help. They really are. And to educate. A lot of it is education. There's times like, and I'm going to use myself as an example. Oops, sorry. But I had a house where I lived at, and I know it might sound silly, but I had a little easement in the back. I did not know that I was responsible for that easement. And it would overgrow. And I said, well, I wonder why they don't go cut that. Well, and one of my friends happened to move in behind me, and she goes, Cynthia, why don't you ever mow your area there? And I'm like, that's not mine. She goes, yes, it is. And I'm like, what? And, I really didn't. That might be the case with some of our citizens. They
That's
may.
a lot of our cases.
Yeah.
The citizen just needs to be educated of
Their
their
responsibilities.
responsibility of where their property
Their
is
property,
at.
yeah. So sometimes your fence might be here, but maybe 5-10 feet behind it is still part of your property, and even alleyways are to be maintained, and a lot of times people don't know that,
Right.
So, and I don't know how many feet or whatever, but the alley is part of your property too, so anyhow.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I thought I
homeowners-
just.
No, you're fine.
I share my story with them.
Yeah, that, and you're leading us into to where we were going with this. So our main function is the enforcement side of the department, but there's many other parts of our department that are just as important, and education is a big one. And so our vision in our goals and our future goals of the department, now that we have staff, before it was really tough. For our code officers, they were understaffed. There was only one officer for a long time, and they did what they could. They did a great job, but it was just too much work for that one person. And even with the numbers that we have now, it's still too much work. It's still we're
So
still
do you
we're still
divide
trying
it in
to.
quadrants,
We
or
do.
how
We have some sectors that are divided up, but we have our city divided up into sectors, and
Oh, okay.
we've got a process where we're rotating through those, and we try to. Just keep on top of the different areas, and we've also got some areas that are kind of take a little bit more time than the other areas. Some of them major thoroughfares. We stay focused on those areas as well. We receive complaints periodically. We will
Sure.
receive complaints, and I'll go in a little bit more detail on the complaints here when I introduce the new system that we have. But education is a big portion, a big part of that. Like Frank said, educating the residents on what they're responsible for, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, is a huge part of our job.
And I think too, coordinating, and I'm saying when people go and dump behind in their alley or the front of the yard, whatever it is, we try to look up when your brush pickup will happen, so it's kind of coordinated together, because brush pickup, my understanding is always like 3 months behind, maybe. More or less?
I don't know. I really don't want to. That's Robert
Okay.
Guetta's department, but
I'm
I
just-
don't. But they
we
do have a schedule.
it.
Yeah,
We
they do have a schedule.
on the website. So if you kind of want to go and look and see what that looks like, they do have the routes there on the website.
There's 8 routes.
8
Yeah.
routes?
8 routes.
Okay.
So it takes 3 months to go through the whole way.
Yes, so, and the other thing is, of course, you do have the opportunity, if you live within the city limits with your water bill, to go to the landfill to be able to dispose some of that brush. And if you do put brush in the front or in the back, wherever it is for your area, they say please don't mix up other items with that. It's strictly brush, not chairs and
It
toys.
does, it makes it a
and-
little harder for the
Yeah.
the landfill to separate things, so,
Yeah, so-
because they go to
Anyway,
the different
I'm sorry,
areas.
I don't want to get off.
No, it's okay. So, like I was saying, that the enforcement side and education is a big portion. But before I go on, I want to go back a little bit, and they're not here with us today, but we do have another side of our department that is in the office. These guys are out in the field, they're out looking for violations and following up on complaints and that sort of thing. But we also have office staff that keep us running as well. So we've got Cecilia Montevais is
Oh, yes.
down up at the front, and then we also have Dolores Gonzalez in there too. So they're a big part of our department and kind of help keep us organized. So I didn't want to forget to mention that, because they're like I said, very important, and we're glad that they're a part of our team. But we do the enforcement side of it and the education, and there's a couple other things that we do as well that are kind of attached to our department. So if you're building a fence, you're going to see one of these code officers is going to be one of those guys that goes out there to make sure that it's being built in to what our fence ordinance standards are. We also have our health department, our health code that we have to follow. So all your restaurants, all your food trucks, your daycares. What else, guys?
Your daycares, your food trucks, your
Stores,
vendors, your
convenience
peddlers.
Your peddlers, all those are regulated by us.
I was going to say, and sometimes we have individuals that come into our community, even if you're going door to door, you should pick up, what is it? Is it,
Peddler's permit.
it's called a peddler's
There's
for
a
that?
peddler's permit.
Yeah, and
We
just
also have
notify it,
itinerant
yeah.
vendors, which are, persons that are selling things on the side of the road, that type of stuff.
Okay.
They're all required to have permits, and our offices is responsible for inspecting,
Yeah.
making sure that they're in compliance with all that.
And if
So-
you're not sure if something's requires a permit, just call in and call the department, the codes department, and they'll be able to guide you and let you know what needs to be done. So-
Yeah, that call, there's always somebody there that's going to answer the phone for us and be able to answer those questions. But, I guess probably the more, crucial part of that is probably our health inspections. Those are a big, we work real closely with the Department of State Health Services. As a matter of fact, here, about how long ago, guys, was it?
About 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
A month
Yeah.
ago,
About a month ago.
we were doing some training with them. We were out, they had their staff come down and working alongside our staff to guide us and make sure that we're doing things the right way and we're keeping everybody's food safe. Food safety is a huge thing for us, and making sure that when residents go into a restaurant and purchase food or sit down and eat food, that it's prepared properly, prepared safely. That's the number one thing. We're making sure that everything's done safely and not.
Y'all go and check for first in, first out and rotations and stuff?
Everything on
Right.
the app.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there is a 52 item checklist that we go off of, and it's by the state.
So we follow the state's food regulations, TFIRS, right? That's what the acronym for it. So we follow that. It's something that's done not just here in Alice, it's done all over the state. And so we're not any different than if you were to go to another city. They're all following the same
Guidelines
standards, same
and stuff.
guides and standards. So we just have the inspectors that go out and do that for us and make sure that, like I said, everything's being prepared safely.
And
So
we're trying to become user-friendly on our website, where
Yes.
now you're able to go to, what is it?
So
Like-
what we've done is, it's having staff is one portion, but then having the tools to do our jobs is the second portion of that. And here recently we're still in the process actually of rolling out our new software. It's a tool that helps us manage our caseloads, helps us communicate with the community, with the residents. So part of that process is a portal. And I believe at the last council meeting, one of the council members was talking about the portal, and they were pretty excited about it. We are too. We're really excited about the portal because it's a great engagement opportunity for us to be able to engage with the public. So you can go onto that website or to our website. From our website, you can log into the portal and report a code complaint. So there's I don't know,
High grass.
high grass and on your neighborhood, and you want to see, you report it, you can go out there and report it to us, and then our officers will get it, and it'll helps us manage that case and get through all the way to compliance.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
so
that's neat.
And the
Yeah.
good news
That's
is
good.
that they can track it.
correct.
If they make a complaint, they can track it to the end till it's completely closed.
Completely
The
cleared.
case is
Right.
closed.
Or if it's already
Okay.
been somebody's already complained about that we're not doubling up on our complaints. Our system will be able to identify, okay, we've already got a case there.
And it kind of helps also make it a little bit easier. We're not having to call and wait and
Right.
and then taking up different.
Yeah, and so all this is done. We've got our officers out in the field. They're able to do some of that stuff from the field. We're still working through that. There's some
Where do
printing
they,
and
where
things
do
like
they
that.
find the portal? How do
They
they
can go
get
to
to it?
they can go to our website. Right now, it's at the front of our website, but here pretty soon it'll be over in the code.
So they go
you'll
to
be
the
able go
City of Alice?
cityofalice.org, and then you will go to the code enforcement department, and it'll be a reported complaint or file a complaint. And
So you have,
There
there's
should
a
be
few
mention,
links.
though, that it's for code complaints. If you
Right.
have
Oh.
a pothole in the street, that's not our department.
Okay, so it's not for potholes, it's for code compliance.
It's for code complaints is what
And
it's
it'll have,
geared
I
for.
think there's a Dropbox or something that
Yes.
has a list of some of the items that they can, okay,
Yes.
report, okay.
And compliments.
Yeah, and you
Oh,
can also,
hey,
put
they'll
compliments.
take compliments
Yes.
all the time. We welcome those. Those are, I'll tell you, whenever I get a positive, something positive or a compliment, I try to share that because sometimes we forget to
Yes.
also do those compliments, so.
So yes, that's a huge step, and I feel in the right direction for our department is having that software and that portal, and it's going to help us identify where we've got our city broken up into areas, neighborhoods, and getting this information. Not only does it make their job easier and their job more efficient, but on my side and Ruben's side and city manager's side, we're able to take that data. Once we start getting all this information, we'll be able to take that data and decipher and figure out where our efforts need to be placed towards. Do we need more code officers? Do we need to focus on a specific topic? What type of complaints, what type of cases are we getting? And so we
it'd
can
be
create
really- yeah.
informed and planned
Sure.
decisions on how we're
And I
handling.
think it's good if we can start incorporating more education
Yes.
for the community, because I think that'll help so much.
Yes, and we're already taking steps towards that. We're obviously not waiting on that data to be able to do stuff. Like I said,
Right.
we were already in the school or in the Boys and Girls Club talking to some kids, and we do feel that there's a need for some education, not just on the resident, but it starts from when they're little bitty, right?
Yeah,
and
sure.
So we've got some programs that we're going to try to roll out and try to implement.
I missed it, so,
We've got some
Yeah.
programs we're going to roll out. We're going to become very heavily involved with the Solid Waste Advisory Council for the COG, or the
Okay,
Council of
yes.
Governments. So myself and Ruben attend those meetings and are participating, coordinating, and networking with all the other code enforcement and environmental health departments for our entire Coastal Bend region. And so that's been a huge benefit for us so far. We were able to look for programs, and find programs that we can bring in to help educate our citizens. But in addition to that, we were able to find some funding we participate with their programs, and we're able to find funding. So here in next month, in August, we'll be doing, I don't know the exact dates, Ruben.
August 4th through 21st.
4th through the 21st, we'll be doing a tire run, or a summer tire run.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so our goal is to try to collect as many tires as we can and get them off of the streets, the
and
tires.
we'll have that posted on our website?
Yeah, we'll post that. We'll have some flyers that'll go out on Facebook,
Okay.
be posted on our website,
Okay.
with some directions on how to get those tires to us and or how we're going to get those tires to. So
So there's no charge, it's just
no,
rounding them up?
it's just rounding them up. The state has picked up, and I don't know where that funding comes from. The Solid Waste Advisory Council, they've got some funding mechanisms that they have built into some of the landfills.
We've done it in, I think, a few months ago, along with the county, but this is
Right, yeah.
totally separate, so.
It's very, very similar to those programs. It's a different funding source, but, we're only, because we're a city, we're an incorporated city, we're only allowed to dip into certain funds, and so we were able to get our hands on this one. And so it's a huge benefit for us.
Good.
Tires, Frank, or when you guys want to talk a little bit about why tires are dangerous or what they
Well,
cause for us.
The tires are dangerous because when it rains, water gets inside and it's more of a mosquito infestation due to that. Other tires are just thrown in the grass, so when our maintainers are cutting the grass, they end up cutting the tire and ruining the maintainer or ruining the lawnmower. But it's more of a health concern because of the mosquito.
It's a breeding ground
for
ground
mosquitoes. For mosquitoes. And when we're doing the tire roundup, we want to make sure we let the public know that it's to bring the tire by itself, not to bring a tire and a rim inside, because we won't take it. It's just going to be the tire itself.
And it can be any kind of tire, or?
It's a passenger tire, truck tires, 22s and below.
Yeah, no tractor tires.
So 22 and below, and don't have the rim.
The
Or
wheel of the
cement,
rim,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
'cause that-
cement, or cement.
Yeah, today we
Or
found
ce-
one with cement in there, and said, well, we can't pick that one up. You know.
So,
Okay.
but these are the programs that we're going to continue to bring to the city. This department works pretty hard on that stuff. Here, about a month ago, 2 months ago, maybe we did some neighborhood. We targeted a specific neighborhood, and we're still kind of working through that. Where we went door to door talking with the neighborhood, kind
Oh,
of getting
good.
some information from them, finding out what the needs are for that neighborhood, and then we brought that data back and then connected it with all the rest of the city departments and got them in contact with us. So maybe there
Oh,
was
good.
a water pressure issue or a sewer issue
Oh,
or a trash
okay.
pickup issue, maybe something. We just connected those dots we connected
Right.
those people together so we can get some compliance and make sure that our community has what they need in the neighborhoods, and we're going to continue to improve on those. We just the first one we did was over on the northwest side of town. It was a kind of we just dove into it and said, let's just do this. And it, we learned some things from it. We got a lot of good information from our residents, and we're going to continue to schedule those throughout the city so we can continue to have more community engagement.
And a lot of times y'all are the eyes and ears of the city, because you're out there more. I mean, other than our solid waste department and our water department, but y'all are out there, so you're our eyes and ears. So that's good.
Boots-
That's
boots
good
on the ground,
information
yeah.
to bring.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
boots
to
on the
bring
ground.
back.
So we're going to continue to schedule those, as time allows. We don't know how. We talked about doing maybe once a quarter, maybe every other month. We don't know how that's going to fit into our schedules yet. Like I said, with this first one, we were trying to gauge how much effort it took and whether we had the resources and we could do that, and because we still got to continue our regular
Sure.
assignments and jobs that we have to continue
But
to do. So
through education, I think it also helps. It'll
yeah.
eventually help, by educating everyone. Oh, okay, this is what we have to do. This is what needs to be this is the schedule, whatever it is. One other topic that I know that I run into quite a bit is the homes, the dilapidated homes, the structures that have been abandoned, those type of things. And what I'd like the citizens to know that they're aware of them. There's a process that has to happen. It's not like just because, it's on private property. So there's a process.
So take the it's a very sensitive topic
Texas
as
has
well.
very strong property laws.
Yes.
Yes, so
Property
it's
rights,
taking
yes.
somebody's property is very 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 difficult or sensitive
And
to
I don't
do.
think that is our goal.
Right, no,
Our
no.
goal is to make it safe and
Right,
but we
so-
have processes because I know sometimes they say, why can't you just do such and such?
Just go tear it
Why
down,
don't you
yeah.
just,
Yeah.
So,
We get that too. We get those calls, and like I said, every situation is different. We had. Anthony, do you remember what that number was? 300 and something.
333.
333 structures
Identified
that we've identified, and
That are
we
private
have
property?
They're private property, and we have them identified on our database. And so we're working through those 333 properties. We're contacting every single one of those property owners. Some of it's a little more difficult than others. Sometimes it's multiple property owners for one property. We had one property that was like 15 people that owned it, right?
Oh, wow.
So we've got a lot of due
I
diligence that
get
we
some
have
of those
to.
as a realtor too, so.
It's a very labor intensive type of a thing that we have to do to be able to
It's
track
not
down
as
some of these
easy
people.
as just doing
Right.
this.
Of tearing it down, it's not as easy.
Right.
But we are making progress. You know, it's the first step was identifying everything, and Anthony was our lead man on that one for a good while. He spent a lot of time developing. We've got our maps and data that we need to be able to.
You're really good with computers, right?
Oh yeah.
I will say we have been securing structures. We sent out about 90 letters on that.
Oh, wow.
More than half the owners did comply.
On their
Really?
own, you know,
Oh, that's
of course,
awesome.
with us, with a little bit of encouragement from
Yeah.
us, but
From Evan.
but they did it themselves without the city having to do it.
well,
We do
good.
have crews there's another arm to our leg to our department is our abatement crews. We do have 2 crews that go out, and when somebody doesn't cut their grass, and we give them, you know, go through the whole process, at some point
It's a
the grass needs to
notice
get
and 10 days?
It's a 10-day notice.
This is for, just for
just for
overgrown
somebody
grass
that
or
doesn't-
something,
yeah.
right?
Trees.
It's a 10-day
Okay.
notice. Yeah, we can do it with trees as well. And
And
then
then
after the
if you
10th day,
don't-
they don't do it, then we can send somebody in to take care of it.
Okay.
Now, it does come with a cost. You know, we have some fees that are set by council. Once, you know, those, we give the homeowner or the property owner 30 days to pay for that. And if they don't pay for that, then we move to the next step, which is filing a lien, a mechanics lien with the county.
And I've seen those before, like as a, you know, when I'm selling a property, that we've had those mowing liens.
Right.
They can add up. So it's
Yes.
important for the communication. If you know you have a property that you own, but you're not here in town or whatever reason,
Yeah.
communicate, communicate and let us know. But those mowing liens can add up if,
They can,
you know.
and we do, if you do have a mowing lien, you know, you have a property you're not sure about, you want to call and find out if there's any liens on it, you can call our office and we'll,
You'll get a summary.
we can give you a summary of what you owe, and I know we always get the scared, like, I can't pay for that all front. You know, we do have payment plans. We'll work with
Okay.
with people to get those liens paid down. But back to the structures, as Anthony said, we had 90 of them, right? Is that what it was? About 90 of them, and we've kind of been working our way down, you know, trying to eliminate that list. Right now, Ruben, how many are we at right now?
We only have 3 left.
3 left. So
Yeah.
out of those 90,
So so there's a notice that goes out to
Notices,
these
yes.
individuals. It's the same as like
To the owner of
it's a
the property.
process.
to the owner of the property, and it's the same. Is there a time frame, or it's just
There is a time frame. It's more than 10 days. It's a 30 day.
30
right?
days.
30 days?
No
Okay.
more than 30 days.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it depends on the severity of it. If it's like people are going in and out and we know about it, there might be a little less time because it's more time sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah, they're different levels of
depending
of
on
safety.
the safety issue?
Yeah, the safety is
Okay.
the biggest thing for us.
Okay.
Is the biggest factor that we could. We've had some that have had bees in them, where we've had to go in there and abate
Y'all
the
gotta
bees.
be careful with that too, because oh my gosh.
It's every situation has been very different. Out of those 90, I'm pretty sure majority of those have all been different. You know,
Oh.
there's not very many of them that are exactly the same
Okay.
situation. You know, like I said, some of them are estates owned by multiple people. You know, so it's, you know, tracking down owners has been the hardest part of
Well,
that.
the really good thing now is that we're addressing these things.
Yes.
We've identified them. Now we're working towards trying to get that process in place so that we can start resolving some of those issues or
Yes,
mitigating
that's
them.
I guess that's probably the most important thing we want the public to know is that something is being done. You know, we
Yeah.
do have a department that is working on it. It's been a process, and this has been. When did you start with this, Anthony? When did you? All y'all started at the same time, so. How long
3 years ago.
About 3 years ago now. So
That's what I was thinking.
it's
I
been
said,
a-
because
it's
I
been a-
know I wanted to say like,
Yeah, it's been a process, and,
Good.
and it to get all everything implemented and put in place so that these guys can get out there and do what they need to do. We've made huge leaps in the right direction, and we're addressing them. Eventually, we'll get there. It's going to take some time, but we'll get there to where all these
But now we
vacant
have-
structures are taken care of.
we have code enforcement officers, more so than
Yes.
we've had in the past.
I don't think we've ever had this many code officers
So-
at one time working.
So this is awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing the progress and the improvements out there, but just be patient. And if you do have a property that's next to you or that you feel is in hazard, call us in, let us know, and you know, we can go from
Not
there.
going to promise you it's going to be fixed in
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, no.
But
Well, there's a
every complaint is
process.
taken
So we take everyone
yes.
and we look into them, and,
Yeah.
and we it's nothing just goes away. it may not be moving as fast as we would like it to see, and believe me, we all want to see it get done faster. But we can tell you that it's not gonna. It doesn't just go away. It's there. It's on our records.
What's the number for the codes department?
It's 361-668-7275. Right? Did I say that wrong?
7250 and 7275.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seven-
So you can get either one of those numbers. Will get to the same.
361-668-7250 and
7275.
7275. Okay, so
Right.
those two.
And you can go to our website too. The portal is a great way to get a hold of us and send that in there.
Yeah,
Like
sorry.
Frank mentioned earlier, it tracks. It'll tell us
Yeah.
when that complaint or that question came in, and
Good.
it's a great way for us to make sure that we're following up on everything. So
It should be mentioned, you can submit something anonymously.
Oh, yes, that's
service,
right.
But if you do, you will not be updated on the progress because
Okay.
obviously we can't get a hold of you.
Right, okay.
so
So you can anonymously report something,
Yes.
but you won't be able to get an update on what's happening since
Right,
it's anonymous.
and we try to discourage the anonymous thing only because sometimes the complaint doesn't come through all the way, and so we have questions or we need to clarify it. We really like to speak to somebody. Okay, tell me exactly what your issue is, so that way we can
So you can
make sure
fully
we're getting the right.
understand
So we fully understand what the issue is, and so that we know how to address it and make sure that we can communicate and make sure that person knows that what we're doing. So like you said, tracking, keeping you updated on the tracking of that case is another important part of
Okay.
that.
And just a quick addition also, we also have door tags that we've came up with
Oh, okay.
about
Yes.
5 months, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And we try to put them on the door if there's no contact. We knock on the door, there's no contact, we put the door tag. So if you get a door tag, has a number to call us, and they'll
Okay.
tell you, hey, I got a door tag. Well, let me tell you why you got a door tag. And again, it's just, we want compliance.
Yeah, and that's the initial contact, is we knock on the door, if nobody's there, we put a door hanger, then we come back and then we do the rest of the process. But if you get a door tag, take care of it right there and then. Makes it easier
and
for
the door
everybody.
tag is just like Ruben said, that's the initial contact. So if you got a door tag, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a citation or you're getting a lien or anything. It's just the very, very beginning portion of that. So it's important if
But
you get the
don't
door
ignore
tag.
it.
Right, yeah, and that's where I'm going with that. If you get the door tag, follow up on that as soon as possible so we can get the item fixed.
So we can get it resolved.
We can get it resolved and it doesn't have to go into the more lengthy portions of the code enforcement process. And those are the door tags. I'm glad you brought that up, Frank. I slipped my mind. Those are just ways that we're programs and processes that we're implementing to just get a better engagement with our community.
I know y'all had gone out to board a couple of these homes too.
Right,
and
right. Yeah,
stuff.
we've
But-
got that's
so
what the abatement crews are doing. They do
I
the
just-
cutting and the
that's-
boarding.
I learned something new today too, and thank y'all for what you're doing.
And just to let you know, it's also not just the residents, it's also businesses that have to
Yes.
comply.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they have some compliance of business, so we do also knock on their door or, send them letters or
Okay.
call them, and trying to let them know that they're out of compliance on something,
Okay.
Again, the easements of a business, I didn't know I had to cut the easement of the business. Yes, you do, stuff like that, so.
Yeah.
We're here.
residents.
See, even your mayor messed up on that one, 'cause I didn't know, but I got
I think I
educated.
sent her that letter.
No, thank y'all so much for what you do. I know it's not an easy job all the time, but know that they're out there to help the community, help the citizens, the residents, the business owners. So talk to them, call back if you get a notice. Communication is key. It's really key, especially in this department. So we appreciate each and every one of y'all and what y'all do for us. Thank you so much. Thank you for being
Thank
on
you
the
for having
mayor's corner.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you. So,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Chief. And you have anything else? Or-
I'm good. Just
Yeah.
tire roundup. Let's get those tires picked up.
Yes.
And again, what dates
here.
were those, Mr.
August
Garcia?
4th through the 21st.
August
And,
4th through the 21st.
Yeah, we're gonna have crews driving around town looking for them to pick them up, but
So
if
you
you
want
call it
them to
is,
set it out?
well,
or-
if you call us and let us know that I have some tires that I can't get rid of, then, we'll go to that location. But we're gonna have 2 crews that are gonna be driving around town, that we've already located quite a few. We're marking them when we do get the trailer. We'll be able to start right away.
Okay. So if you do have some tires out there, this is going to be free of charge.
Yes, correct.
And between August 4th. August 4th to the 21st. So call that codes department number if you have any questions, or keep an eye out for the website or the Facebook page.
Yes.
And it'll be posted there. Again, thank y'all so much. It was a pleasure having y'all on the
Yes.
Mayor's Corner. I look forward to lots and lots of great things happening for this department. Thank
Oh,
you.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank y'all, and we'll see you next month. Thank you. Bye-bye.